What is truth? Someone was asked this question. What is truth? I read for us from the book of John, chapter 18. Let me start my reading from verse 36. Jesus said, "My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest by the Jewish leaders. But now my kingdom is from another place." "You're the king then," said Pilate. Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. In fact, the reason I was born and came into the world is to testify to the truth. Everyone on the side of truth listens to me." Then Pilate retorted, "What is truth? What is truth?" Today, the whole world lives under a lie. When you get to the business arena, people are living under a lie. To make money, they deceive. When you get into the political arena, we live under a lie. The leaders deceive the people. A lie. But worst of all, when it comes to matters of eternity, spiritual issues, people live under a lie. And so, for one reason or the other, we are glad to live under a lie. Under a lie. But it's when you know the truth that the truth will set you free. My friend, my listener, what are you holding on to? What are the spiritual informations that you have? I was born a Catholic. I was born an Anglican. I was born a Baptist. I was born a Christian. I was born a Muslim. I was born a traditionalist. And so you must remain that way. My friend, you need to sit up and find out what the truth is. If the politicians deceive you, you can still get by, you can still survive. If you are deceived in the marketplace, you will still survive, to not kill you. But my friend, if you live under a lie, a spiritual lie, and you die under a spiritual lie, your doom is secure, is assured. That spiritual doom, eternal separation from God. This morning I bring it to you. Like Pilate asked, what is truth? Let me tell you, you shouldn't have asked what is truth, but who is the truth? Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come unto the Father except through me." So Jesus is the truth. Again, you can say, that is your own way. No. In Africa, for example, in those far back days, our parents handed some things over to us. Our style, our way of life, our manner of doing things was in some particular ways. But as we advanced, as we embraced civilization, we began to make changes. Like no one would proudly live in a house with a pit toilet. You go for the modern toilet. No one would trek from here to the next city or to the next town. You go by public transport or private transportation. In the same way, you don't say, because I was born a Muslim, because I was born a Christian, so I must remain that way. You need to find out the truth for yourself and embrace the truth. It is the truth that will set you free. It is the truth that will secure your eternity with God. And who is that truth? The truth is Jesus. Let me tell you, all have sinned and have come short of the glory of God. All have sinned and have come short of the glory of God. And like Adam and Eve did in the garden, we are all putting on fig leaves to cover our nakedness, to cover our weakness. We adopt religion to appease God. But all our righteousness, they're like filthy rags. God himself, when he came into the garden, these fig leaves will not cover your shame, will not cover your nakedness. And so he made for them, or he covered them with skin of animals. Have you ever thought about it? Did God create the skins? And before you can have the skin of animals, that animals must have to die. In other words, animal sacrifices started. Something gave its life to cover Adam and Eve. And that is the matter of sin. You have to pay for your sin. Sin cannot be glossed over. If you die today and your family, your children are praying, hey, rest his soul, God have mercy on our father, they're only deceiving you. You cannot commit sin and die in sin and expect that the coming generation will now beg God for your sin. You have to make your way right with God. And what is that way? God himself opened the way of salvation for us. God himself made a way, like he clothed Adam and Eve himself. Every other thing, every religiosity is like fig leaves covering nothing. When the wind blows, your nakedness is revealed. When the sun shines, those leaves wither and die, and your nakedness is revealed. But Jesus gave his life as an atonement for our sin. Because no other person can die for somebody else's sin. You have to pay for your own sin. Or a sinner will have to take your place. No, a sinless one will take the place of the sinner. Because the penalty of sin is heavy. The soul that sins must die. But Jesus came sinless, lived a sinless life, the only begotten Son of God. And at the right time, he was crucified. He shed his life's blood to atone for our sin. And so, he is our covering. He's the one who has paid the penalty on our behalf. He is the truth. He is the way to God. He is the life, bringing us back to life from the dead. Because the soul that sins must die. And so, because we have all sinned, we have all died. But the life of Jesus atoning for us brought us back to life. Are you accepting that life today? Or are you waiting, deceiving yourself until you get to God? It will be too late. To be too late. It is better for you to make your way right now. Somebody says, how can you say it is true? I have tasted and I've seen that the Lord is good. I have tasted and I've seen that Jesus is the way. I have tasted and I've seen that Jesus is the truth. And millions around the world have this testimony. But if you are still there, you are living a lie. To be too bad for you. And so you have the challenge today. Why not try Jesus? Why not try Jesus? Don't say, I inherited this from my parents. This is the way we must do it. No. Go on your knees. Talk to God. God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Jesus has paid the penalty. I don't want to pay the penalty again. Jesus has borne my sins. I don't want to keep on carrying a sin. I tell you, before you get up from your knees, before you get up, leave the place of prayer, God himself will answer you. He will touch you. You will receive light. Your darkness will be dispelled. That is the challenge for us today. And I put it to you that when you appear before God, this message you are hearing now will either speak for or against you. But my prayer is that this message will speak for you on your behalf. People say, God, I thank you for bringing me across this message. The Lord bless you. Have a nice day. Shalom.